I'm Janice Bouts, and I'm the owner of BDI Playhouse Children's Therapy. And I wanted to make a video today because over 20 years ago, I was a new mom. I took my babies on schedule to their well baby checkups, and I complained at the time, and I told the pediatrician that she wasn't sleeping well, that she wasn't eating very much. Recently, I have seen our therapists doing such incredible things with new moms. And I just think every time, oh my gosh, if I had access to these therapists when I was a new mom, how it could have changed things for my daughter and for me for that first year of life could have been so much different and so much better. Also, she could have stayed with me and continued nursing that whole year. Instead, I ended up weaning her off of nursing at 6 weeks. We switched to a bottle. Unfortunately, that was also a nightmare, and we ended up with reflux and even more problems. So, oh my gosh, how I wish I had access to the resources that I have now. And I'd love to bring those resources to all of you awesome moms out there who need some help. So today I invited two of our really great speech paths. We have several speech pathologists on staff who I think are absolutely excellent. But Jessica Keenan and Amy Stump are, one of their specialties is feeding therapy. And they coincidentally just happened to both have babies fairly recently who also had some struggles with some feeding. So they're going to answer a couple questions and give you guys a little bit of insight on what they can do for you, how we can help you, and answer these questions kind of as a professional but also as a mom.
When the babies are coming into the doctor's office, a lot of times we're not getting them referred to us because the babies are gaining weight, they have wet diapers, they're passing bowel movements, and they are eating. So the doctors are more likely to focus on other medical aspects of the baby than referring them for feeding therapy.
But we know as feeding therapists that feeding and swallowing is one of the most complex events that your body does on a consistent basis. So there are a lot of different little issues that can lead up to difficulties with our babies eating that we can help address and fix for you.
One of the other things that I noticed at the time was that my baby did not like tummy time. And I kept hearing, the importance of tummy time, and so I tried to get her to play on the floor in her tummy, and she just wasn't having it. She was just a fussy baby. And so just recently, Jessica had showed me some photos that kind of made it just all come together in my mind of how that may have been caused by the feeding difficulties that she was having. So can you explain that for us a little bit?
Yeah, so a lot of times when babies have a lot of air that they're intaking or they have reflux, they can put themselves in a position to help calm their bodies. My son had a tongue and lip tie. However, there are many other oral motor issues that we can identify in babies. So the photos that I shared with Janice, you can see that 1 week post-revision, he was still taking on the body posture that we see a lot of our babies take that are having difficulties with eating. So they'll be turning their heads to one side or they'll be arching their backs and they just don't generally look comfortable. And then you can see in my second photo, he is starting to achieve what we call is midline, where he's starting to bring his body posture together. And then as you see the third and fourth picture, that is 5 weeks post-revision, where he is able to bring his hands to midline and look directly at me, when before he was never able to stay in that position unless assisted by myself. So by the last photo, his oral motor skills were completely improved, and he was creating the best latch that I and he had ever experienced together. And by having this oral motor sufficiency, his whole body was able to follow in line, and he was participating in tummy time, and he was generally happier. So I'm assuming that if we were able to work with your baby Janice, that we could have helped her create a better and happier participation in tummy time, and helped her along with her motor skill development.
Moms need to go get a prescription before they come to see a speech pathologist.
The answer is no. We can offer a free 30-minute screening to determine if your baby needs an evaluation, and at that time, if we decide they need an evaluation, we can provide that. It usually takes about 60 minutes, and then we'd send that report to your doctor, and if we decide we need ongoing treatment, then we need a prescription from your physician.
So I shared a little bit about what the feeding issues look like for me and my baby, but what might some of these other moms see with their feeding situation?
So it's going to look different for every mom, but some of the most common things that we see and hear are that feeding feels like a full-time job for our moms. They are feeding the baby round the clock. Day and night, that's all that they're thinking about is feeding the baby because the baby is not taking in, or they don't feel like the baby is taking in enough milk. These moms can have engorgement, they can have sore, painful, blistered nipples. When the babies come off of the nipple, it looks like a lipstick. They have clogged milk ducts. They might have one side that is a better side for the baby, so then they tend to stick to that one side. Yeah, so there's a lot of different things that we can help the mom with.
So what about the babies? What would you see in the baby?
So again, it's going to look a little different for every baby, just like with moms. Some babies will be gassy and refluxy. Some babies will click a lot on the nipples. They'll smack. You'll hear them actually gulping air as they swallow. They'll spit up either through their mouths or through their noses. They'll slide on and off the nipple frequently. And again, like what Jessica said, they're feeding really frequently. Either their feeds take forever or they're doing really quick feeds, but they're feeding all day long. So moms are just exhausted. We'll also have babies who their lips tuck in when they're eating. They can't get a good grip on the nipple or the bottle, it seems.
They often fall asleep
Yeah.
while nursing.
And Jessica and I know every baby and every mom looks different, but in general, trust that mommy gut and trust that when you know something's just not right and you know it can be better, follow that.
And we're here for you, so just come in and see us with one of those screenings and we can help you either identify what your gut is telling you, or we can refer you to somebody that can help you more.
Awesome. Okay, great, thanks. I appreciate your time.